Hello everybody, Double J 101 back again with another Transformer figure review. Today's review will be over the Deluxe class HOUND from Siege. So here we'll take a quick look at the package. We see HOUND in a great looking artwork on the side, as well as every other package seems to be. We see HOUND in the back, as well as a couple product placements for some other things you can buy, the Battle Masters, and if you look above a little bit, we see how he interacts with a Battle Master. But really, that's about it for the packaging. Nothing too special about it, so on to the figure. Here we have Siege Hound in his vehicle mode, and overall, really, it's a nice looking vehicle mode. It's something I would probably expect from a Hound. The green really works well with the type of green I like. I think the cartoon may have had it more in the lighter green, but the dark green really looks nice throughout. We see here the Autobot logo. They decided to put one star here on the front, as well as some black and brown detail throughout the entire figure. The tires look pretty decent as well. We have green in the middle with the black, and they spin and roll very nicely. We see some yellow and white details here in the lights in the front, as well as, if it can pick it up, a little bit of the battle damage paint that they decided to put here on the front bumper. We have on the back some red tail lighting with some yellow as well, but really that's about it for the paint detail on this guy. Accessory wise, he comes with his wheel, spare wheel, if you would put it that way, which just pegs right here onto the back. He comes with one of his guns, a nice looking green and a little bit of brown with some silver pistol here, which can be pegged in anywhere on these 4 or 5 peg holes here on the back, as well as his rifle, which is nicely painted silver with black plastic, and that can be pegged in anywhere as you like as well. I like to peg it right there on the top. I think it just looks the best. For comparison, let's go ahead and bring in a Titans Return figure here. This is Chrome Dome. He looks okay together. There's definitely a size difference, but as you know, they have definitely scaled down with the newer figures. Overall, looks pretty nice. Next, we have him next to Sideswipe from Siege as well. These two actually do scale decently together. Sideswipe's still a little longer, but as a Jeep, I would expect it to be probably a little shorter in length, not as long as a Cybertronian Lamborghini of sorts. But, you know, that's that. Next to Leader Class Ultra Magnus, which, when these two are next to each other, they look pretty nice as well. And he can fit on top, of course, with a decent look at and carrying. He definitely could not fit in there, nor do I think that Mini could fit in at all, but still pretty nice. And last but not least, let's go ahead and take a look at his G1 counterpart, which the green is spot on, but that's really about it. You know, you can't really expect too much to get close to this guy or not, but, you know, still pretty cool to see them next to each other. On for transformation for Hound. Let's go ahead and take his guns and accessory pieces off here. Move those to the side. First, what we'll do is disconnect this top piece here and kind of move it out of the way. Get it loose, and at least the best you can. Separate the side pieces here where the tires and the side panels are. Mine is a pretty snug fit, so yours might be as well. Get this loose, and down here for the arms, move them out of the way so you can rotate the legs fully out and extended. To finish the legs off here, we're going to fold the feet out, rotate this piece around, fold this up, and right here we're going to slot this peg right into the peg hole, close that up, bring the foot down, and that finishes up one leg. Onto the other leg, we'll go ahead and do the exact same thing. Rotate this around, peg it into that slot right there, closing that up, bring the toe forward, close the foot up, and there we have the legs complete. Up here for the top of the figure, we'll move these arms out of the way, which then can bring the chest piece down and give a little bit of a squeeze to kind of peg it into place there. Bring the arms in, which will then secure the chest plate in. Rotate the arms how you like. For the back of the figure, we're going to rotate this piece in, bring it down, close it up. There are two little indents here on the black piece in the back here that kind of line up with these indents here. They don't exactly peg in the best, but it does line up and kind of hold into place back in the back. But otherwise, you straighten them out, get them nice and even and standing, and there you have Hound in his robot mode. And in this mode, Hound looks probably the best that he does. In vehicle mode, he's okay, but in this mode, I think he's probably the best. Moving closer on this guy, we see the 2 stars here on the shoulders, as well as a little bit of the brown mixed in with the green around the forearms. We do see more of that battle damage paint here on the legs and on the knees. Nothing here on the feet, so again, the inconsistency still continues. And we do see here on the front panel of the vehicle, we do kind of get a little bit more of that battle damage that's kind of up front and center, so it looks pretty nice there as well. Rotation for this figure, we see that the arms can rotate all the way around, go out, swivel here at the bicep, and at the elbow can move about that far. Wrists do rotate as well, moving all the way around. Down here at the legs, they have rotation here at the thigh, up by the waist. Knee bend is pretty good as well as ankle tilt, which is a pretty stiff ankle tilt. It does kind of click in there, but you can get a pretty good tilt if you want, depending on how much you push it. Rotation here at the waist as well. Up here for the head sculpt, it's a pretty good head sculpt all the way around. Nice blue eyes with green and silver paint. We have kind of up and down motion, not the best, but it does rotate slightly. It kind of gets hung on this piece in the back, but you could get a full rotation if you really wanted to. Takes a little effort, but you can definitely do it. While in this mode, you can armor him up, add in his weapons in both hands if you like, as well as adding on his little tire piece onto the back of either of them, really. I just think it looks better there on the longer rifle, maybe even add a bit of a machine gun feel to it. But overall, pretty cool. And here's a dynamic pose, which is pretty neat too. So one of the things about this figure that I'm not the most thrilled about is that for most of these newer figures, they've been, or at least with the Siege line, they have been hiding a lot of the hollowness. But as you can see here, there is some hollow here from the front that you can see, or a nice little gap. But when you turn it to the back, they did not even try to cover up that hollowness at all, which is really disappointing. They really could have added something there that could have just made it look more aesthetically pleasing, I guess you can say. No one's going to really show this figure off from the back, but being that Sideswipe, Ultra Magnus, a lot of these other figures, Flywheels too, they do hide a lot of that hollowness, and it's just a disappointment that they didn't add it in here. Now for some comparisons for Hound. Here we go with Titan's Return Chrome Dome again. You can really see it, they're close in size. Now Hound as a G1 figure was pretty small, so maybe this would work in your eyes. We have Siege Sideswipe. These two are pretty much right on to each other. The Sideswipe might be a little taller, but maybe just because of the horns. It's an interesting see. Let's see. Well, yeah, I think they're about the same height. We have Siege Ultra Magnus, which these two, pretty decent scale, I guess. I think it works pretty well for what they're going for, but I do think they look really nice together. We have G1 Hound right here. Tiny little guy. And for fun, here we go. This is Make Toys Gundog. And you can see this, their masterpiece version of Hound. And they're almost the same color for the most part. This one's a little bit of a browner green, I guess you would say. This one's more just dark green, really. And overall, they look pretty good together. Now for the transformation for Hound back into his vehicle mode. Let's take his accessories back off once again. Move those to the side. We will separate the arms just a little bit. Get this piece folded back out. Let's just leave it in for the time being. Take his legs, disconnect here. Get them nice and flat once again on both sides. For the front of the cab, bring it up and get it as best as you can. This piece, move it up here, get it out of the way. Get it straight like so. These arms will then fold underneath, and there's no real place to put them for right now. They will peg in a little bit, but right about there will be good for the time being. Take the legs, fold it all the way around. These pieces tend to get in the way, but if you just move it around a little bit, they will go right where they should be. You're going to peg it into the front there. Do the same for this side. Get this piece out of the way. Fold this downwards. You're going to peg it in the back of the cab here. For the front here, as I didn't show on the other side, there is a pretty big slot right there, which that will peg into. Peg that in. Get that nice and straight. Take these little side panels here, fold them in, making that even. Down here for the arms, this is where you will take this little peg right about there. You'll see it right there. And there is a slot on the arm. It's a little hard to see. It's right about there. And you just kind of push it in, getting it nice and even. Same with this side. Push it in, get it even. You can fold these fists downwards if you want. Doesn't truly matter, but it's however you want to display it. Get your weapons where you'd like to put them again, and the spare tire. And there you have, oops. There you have Hound back in his vehicle mode. Overall, I have to say this is probably the weakest one in the line, in my opinion. The paint apps are fine on it. I think there's less paint than normal, or at least how we've kind of come to think of Siege. And the transformation is okay. It's not the most fun. It's not as good as Sideswipes or Ultra Magnus or a few of the other ones, but it's just... See, I like this figure, but there's just something about him I just don't, for some reason. I don't like that they showed back the hollowness, which they really got rid of on the other figures on this line, so it's kind of weird that this one didn't make it past that point. But, nonetheless, it's a pretty good Hound. I don't have a Hound for Chug until now, so this will really be my Chug Hound, so it'll look good on my shelf, I think. We'll have to see. I don't know if there's a better one out there, but, hey, nonetheless, he is a pretty decent Hound. Do I recommend it? Sure. If you're a completionist, go ahead. And if you liked how he looks, go ahead too. But that's really up to you. Otherwise, thanks again for tuning in. I'm really overwhelmed by the support I got from the Magnus and Shockwave videos. I really appreciate everybody subbing, and I really hope that my content will keep you around. I hope you all enjoy it. Thanks again for subbing. If you are new to the channel, think about subbing. Go ahead and hit that like button, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.